Welcome to the Stories That Sparkle. I'm Hella Rader, and I'm really excited about today's episode, y'all. This is the 6th episode I recorded as part of the Discoball Tour that I did in September. I recorded this conversation with Vannoy on my way from Dallas to Amarillo. It was a really long day. It was 16 hours plus day, and it ended up with me at the Big Texan. Yeah, woohoo. Anyway, Vannoy is an incredible woman. I've known her for a while, and she always has such wisdom to share, and I'm personally very grateful to be the recipient of her wisdoms over the years. So I was really thrilled that I was able to visit with her and record this conversation with her, especially given that it's coming out during the holiday season, and I know it's a difficult time for many of us. And her story about hope and healing and how she went from feeling like a 0 to a 12 plus. What, y'all? OMG, so amazing. Yeah, she's got an incredible story, and how she got from there to here is really amazing. She's a real example to me of living a life of love and service, of paying it back. So I invite you to get comfortable, sit back, and listen in. I'm Hella Rader. With a good sense of humor, an open heart, and an open mind, I love to explore the very human complexities in others and in myself. That's why I created a space for women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street to share in their own voices the intricacies of starting over in life, building community, inhabiting their bodies, and more. Welcome to our Discoball, the stories that sparkle. Hi, Vannoy.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, it's an honor. It really is.
Oh, thank you. So, y'all, we're in outside of Dallas, Texas. I'm on my way to Amarillo. So, I stopped off here to see Vannoy.
In Justin, Texas.
Little
town, about 4,000 people.
Oh, wow. I need to know what that's like. What's that like, living in a small... I live in a small town, but it's 28,000 people.
Oh, I love it. I moved here from Los Angeles, so it was quite a culture shock.
Whoa.
But this is home. This is home. And unfortunately, I was out in the country and surrounded by cattle and horses and ranches. Now Dallas is encroaching on all of my little town.
Right.
Unhappy about that.
Right. You're like, not a fan.
No, not a fan. Yeah.
I'm like, no, don't do that. Stay away. So what brought you from Los Angeles to Justin, Texas?
Well, I had been out there about 20 years, and my husband died. And I discovered after his death that we had been embezzled. And I had a home in L.A. and a home in Palm Springs, and then it was all gone.
Whoa.
So for several years, I shared apartments. And one Thursday night, I was driving home, and I thought, it's time to go home. It came out of the clear blue.
Wow.
And I came back. I was born in Texas, was here most of my life, got married. Of course, I followed a man.
Right.
Straight out to California.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes.
And we were there for 20 years. And then that night, it was just time to come home. My family was there. I had a brother that's still alive. My mom and dad had already passed by then. And I had a son out here. So it was time to come. I had a daughter in Arizona and a granddaughter in Arizona, and they followed a year and then 2 years later. So now we're all out here.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Like living in the same general area, like
Yes.
close enough to visit
Yes.
often?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, we're all right here.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, you've seen a lot of life.
A lot.
Yeah. And your life is one of service.
It is.
It's built in service.
I would say service dash payback.
Ooh.
It's all payback for my life. It's payback, top to bottom.
Okay. In what way do you mean the payback?
Well, I have 3 alcoholics in my life. Mm-hmm. I was married to 2 of them. The other one, we just played house. And I'm drawn to alcoholics, evidently. And That's why I know to say it is on a scale from 1 to 10 about how you feel about your life and how it's going. I was a 0. I had the first relationship I was in. He was a gambler. My 0 self thought that's okay.
Right.
My parents were poor. We were very poor. My brother broke his neck, and we just didn't have anything. I didn't have very many friends. We didn't have any. It's a small town called Lubbock, Texas. So I didn't have any sort of self-worth. And many years later, I discovered my grandfathers were alcoholics, and they were, everybody in the family. And who knew? I didn't know.
Right.
And so I'm searching for something outside of me to fix me. And I was always taught and thought it's, you get a man, you get married, you have children, you have grandchildren, and that's your life. And it makes fulfill you. And maybe you can move up to a 10 or 5 or 7. But I never did. So I had a lot of trouble in that. And when I was 29 years old, I discovered a recovery program. I walked into that program, and I'll tell you just a little sketch. I was married to a cowboy by that time, tried everything. I had 2 kids, both by different fathers. I was sitting in a chair in my den. It was a Thursday. I was trying to think, what can I do with those kids? How can I end my life? I just can't do this anymore. I had 2 busted lips. 2 black eyes and a busted lip. And I was sitting there thinking about my 0 life up to that point. And the gambler that I lived with him, I didn't marry him. And he was an alcoholic / a little bit mental. And I had a child by him, my oldest daughter by him. And he came to the hospital and he said, I've done all I can do for you. Well, here's my 0.
Right.
I never thought about, well, please marry me so this child will have a start in life. I just said, oh, okay.
Oh, so when you had her, he came to the hospital and was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, we were living together.
Right.
I had her. He said, that's it.
Right. Wow.
So later, I thought, I can't stand this. One of the things in my soul is, don't leave me. Don't abandon me.
Right.
Because outside of me is where I got my scale from 0 to 10, outside of me. So you can't abandon me. So I manipulated another man that he absolutely hated and put them at the same honky-tonk, when we call it in Texas. Some people call it bars.
Right, you're like, this is not a bar, this is a honky-tonk,
yeah, exactly. And a couple of days later, he took a shotgun and blew that man's head off.
Whoa.
So.
Holy cow.
Yeah. 0. My parents, so I didn't have a very good relationship at all, especially being out of wedlock. I went over there and they locked the door on me. And my mother came to the door and said, please don't come over here. We don't want the neighbors to see you, because we lived in a small town and everybody knew what happened. And I shamed them. I was shamed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I decided I can't go back to those honky-tonks. So I went over to the rodeo grounds, and that's when I got the cowboy.
Like, the problem is the honky-tonk.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to the rodeo. Oh, I love that.
That's it.
That logic makes total sense to me. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. You got to find the him, if you will, that's going to fix the hole, the 0 in your soul. And so I went looking there, and it was just the same, violence. I was attracted to violence. And after a lot of work in recovery, I realized at one point that I felt guilty. Never exactly knew why, but I felt guilty and needed to be punished. So this was okay. Plus, I didn't matter. So if you're a 0, you don't matter too much to too many people.
Right.
So that morning, I thought, I can't do this anymore. So I can't kill myself and leave my kids. The Cowboys' families were all drunk. My parents didn't have anything to do with me. What am I going to do with these kids? I wasn't a praying person, didn't believe in God, because when my brother broke his neck, I realized there wasn't a God. Because so many people prayed that he could be all right, but he was left paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Wow.
And it bankrupted my father. It tore up our family. So I don't know what they were praying to, but certainly I didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Right.
And if you don't have something outside of yourself, you're lost. You're lost. So I started I picked up the phone, called some people, and got into this recovery program. And there is where a lot of hard work, a lot of years, a lot of precious work, a lot of love. There was other people in there sitting in this room, and we went to meetings. We went to meetings like 3 or 4 times a week, and we shared. And it was mostly women. There was a husband every now and then, but mostly women. And we shared what it's like to have this kind of stigma all over your family, your children, the neighbors seeing it, the neighbors hearing it, shame, all carried
Right.
shame. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm struck by that. I was shame. Like, I am shame personified.
Yes,
And feeling like I'm the only one. Like, I'm alone.
yes,
So, yeah, I can imagine finding others.
yes. And when you walk in there, wow. I didn't know I don't remember what they were saying, but there was a feeling. There was just a feeling in that room. And I felt for the first time, I don't know if you want to call it warmth or comfort, or I call it identification now. I heard there was other women talking about their drunk husbands, or saying something about a child, or all those things. And it was that identification with another human being that's just so amazing, so amazing. I dropped out of high school. I worked in drugstores. I wasn't an educated person at all. I had no God. I had nowhere to go. But in that room, something happened. And of course, it's a 12-step recovery program. And I've been in there 56 years. I've been going for 56 years.
Wow.
At least 3 times and more a week.
Wow.
And these people spent time and hours with me, telling me their story, sharing with me how they went from a 0 to a 10 or a 12, whatever it was. And the identification with those people literally lifted me up and got me on my own 2 feet. And they showed me how to do and how to pray. They taught me God. I didn't. God who? God what? I
Right.
mean, no, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And I was told little things. And I got a sponsor, a woman who'd been in there a long time, and she agreed to take my calls and help me get better and tell me how she did it. She told me one time, if God's on the rooftop and you're down in the basement, God will come down there and get you. You don't have to work your way up to him.
Oh, wow. I've never heard that before. That's beautiful.
It changed my life. A little bitty story, or it changed my life. And then she said, if you don't believe that there's God, do you believe that I believe in God? And I said, yes, I do. I think you do. You talk like you talk to him or stuff. She said, well, can you just go with that? And I said, sure. And then she told me to say, please, in the morning on my knees, and thank you at night on my knees. And that's how I started out my spiritual journey. I didn't have clothes. People loaned me. This one woman, she was so sweet. She was a big, tall thing, and she brought me 2 pair of jeans. That's what everybody wore back there in Texas. She said, I bought these, and they're the wrong size. And she said, I thought maybe you could use them. Would you take these for me, please? And I said, sure. Oh, I didn't have clothes.
Right.
Everything I had went to trying to feed my kids. And it took a long, long time for me to realize she didn't buy them by mistake. She bought them and gave it to me, trying, not to hurt my pride.
Right.
Just being generous of spirit with me.
Right.
And that came from all directions. Christmas would come, I had nothing for those kids. People of the groups, this one man, he came and got my daughter. She had an old bike that was, rusted and torn up and chain. He took that and he redid that thing. It made it brand new.
Wow.
He got some old trucks and repainted them and gave them to my son, and that was their Christmas presents. People like that giving to you, that's something that's a payback to me.
Right.
That's why it's so important to me, because it was given to me. My sponsor and I read together, so I didn't understand a whole lot of it. And they got me through those years, and they paid my way to conferences and conventions and got things to, I went from a 0 to about a 3.
Right.
pretty quick.
Right. You're like, I'm working my way up there, but wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is that I did find God.
Right.
And all the things that I did. And God says all he expects out of me is to help others. That's it. And I stayed with this drinking husband for a long time, about 5 years, I think. And then I had enough self-worth, enough care that my children didn't need to see all this. He stopped the violence because one of the men who was sober told me, talk to him and tell him he can't do that to you anymore, that you love him, you want to stay married to him, but he can't do that to you, and the kids don't need to see it. And much to my surprise, I told him that, and he stopped hitting me.
Whoa. Wow.
Who thought that was it?
I know. Wow.
And then about 5 years later, and I was learning, if I'm hurting and I'm lonely and I'm scared, call somebody. See how they're doing. Or take some food over to somebody who needs it.
Yeah.
Get out of myself. And everything I've read, and I'm a reader, as you can see, I got books everywhere. God only wants me to help other people, and he gives me these things so I can pass them on. I'm just a big funnel. And so that's given me my life. It's given me my joy. And I keep trying to pay it back and get the account full. Can't do it.
Really?
Once I get close to it, somebody else gives me more and showers more to me. I can't catch up.
You're like, stop that. I keep having to refill.
Yes. And my parents, I went to them and I told them how bad I felt about my actions and the shame I put on that family. And of course, they forgave both of me. And then I was taught, let's go to school for something. One of the ladies worked for, I don't know, some welfare part of the community. They got me in nursing school, and before I knew it, I was in nursing school, and I graduated nursing school.
Wow.
And my class asked me to give the closing speech at our ceremony. And I looked down, and there was my mother and my father. They had told me that not to come back to, when the tragedy happened, I call it, they told me not to come back and forth in their house. They didn't want the neighbors to see me. Well, after me working this program and asking their forgiveness, they invited the next door neighbors to come see me graduate.
Wow, that's amazing.
Payback.
Yeah, it comes, yeah.
Yeah. And so I started off with life and just went to school. I went to school, nursing school, me.
Right.
And I understood it and I passed it, and oh man. And when we graduated, they asked me, like I said, to give the class response. Nobody ever asked me to do anything like that my whole life. And here I was, and the church was just full. People from the recovery group were all over there, yaying and hollering and giving me a sign. Boy, that's payback. If you think, you go from a 0 to goodness.
Yeah.
To goodness. And so I started doing that. I started sponsoring other people, talking to them. Loved being a nurse, loved all that. Like I said, I divorced that cowboy, and then I met a man who was sober a long time in another 12-step program. And we got married. And as a couple, we started helping other couples, because being married to an alcoholic is, it's a trip.
Right. Right.
It's a trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you learn a lot of things, and it's there's all kinds of books to help and read, and we talked to our pastor, and we put together a fairly good marriage. We would have couple meetings at our house. We'd have Christmas at our house, and people who didn't have anywhere to go knew to come to our house. Everybody came over there. It was open house. Thanksgiving, Easter, whatever. Because nobody is as lonely as an alcoholic that his family has turned his back on them.
Right.
Or someone who's married to one.
Right.
And they're too ashamed to have you in their home.
Yes.
I was too ashamed
Yeah.
to go anywhere.
No, I mean, I can relate to that, like isolation.
Yes.
Even as recently as, 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
That zero, I hovered, I think, unknowingly around a maybe a 2.
Got it.
Or a 3 for a really long time.
Yes, yes.
Longer than I was even, I think, aware. Like now, over the last 5 years, I can go, oh, yeah. I rebuilt really over the last 5 years in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, wow. Like when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I think I was hovering closer to a 2 or a 3 for much longer than I thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if it hadn't been for the people around me loving on me and being there with me and not shaming me for it, and just no matter what, being there, I probably wouldn't have gotten to now being maybe a 7 or an 8.
Absolutely.
On my way to a 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe the most magical words that you can hear that I heard was, I understand. Those are magic. I understand. No judgment.
Right.
And then to be able to turn around and give other women walking through that door with that look of isolation and shame, I understand that look.
Yeah.
And then that's where I go and I talk with them. I have many, many, many women that call me on a weekly basis right now. That's payback. That's service. Trying to help them understand what's going on in their lives. There's the AMA declared alcoholics and alcoholism is a disease. I think it was in the 70s. They declared it a disease.
Wow.
I might be wrong on that. But there's many books written about it. And if it's a disease, and it's the only disease known to man that affects those in the family who don't even have it.
Right.
We become neurotic because it's such a chaos family style. So I can help them. When a roaring drunk man comes into the house, they can give me a call. I can tell them my experience and talk them through and get them out of it, give them comfort, maybe even stop the violence. That's payback. That's service.
Right.
I've got up many a time in the middle of the night and gone and picked somebody up.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
And then helping these other people and recognizing in them what I have has changed me. It has changed me. And I continue to do that. If you ask me on that scale from 1 to, I was a 0,
Right.
I'll tell you I'm a 12.5 now.
Ooh!
Yes, ma'am.
I love things to look forward to.
Well, I've been here for so long.
Right.
And I've shared my story with so many people. And somebody will hear me share here, and then they'll invite me to go over there, and I'll go over there, and then they'll hear me. So I've been traveling probably 50 years, talking to conventions, hundreds of people, thousands of people at a convention. I've started women's conferences because I went to a women's conference, and I realized women talking to women heal the wounds that seem to be unsavable, that you can't change the wounds. You can't fix. Yeah, you can.
Wow.
by service to them, listening to them, tell them how you did it.
Yeah, because I've often described that as like we all have these wounds that you can't see with the naked eye. Like,
Yes.
they don't have a physical scar. They're
Yes.
deep soul wounds.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, that's beautiful that just we can heal each other together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I must say, there are some wounds that can't be healed. That I have made friends with.
Okay.
And I share that wound with you. Mm-hmm. And the wound, sometimes it pulsates. I've got wounds all over my heart, I say, because of my motherhood, how I treated my children and all that chaos. And I worked really hard on that. Still working on that. Those aren't completely healed.
Right.
The damage that I did.
Right.
By being a crazy woman married to a crazy man. Mm-hmm. So every now and then they'll pulsate. I think they're scars, but they'll pulsate. So some wounds, they're going to pulsate for the rest of your life. But I'm talking to you, and you understand. You're sitting there shaking your head. Yes, you understand, and that's what it's all about. The more I do that, the better I feel. The better I feel every day. I talk on the phone to a lot of people. About 3 weeks ago, I was as dark as you can be emotionally. I had 3 things, boom, 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 that made me saddened, that injured me, and I got some resentments over. And I had to do some praying and a lot of reading to get through that.
Right. Right.
And when you get through that, oh my gosh, all you want to do is turn around and say, hey, I got through. Let me show you. Let me tell you. Because it's joy to give that to someone else who's hurting.
Yeah. It's, so last year you said something, it was last November we worked together. Mm-hmm. And you said, I was really struggling with some resentments. I was really not okay. I was like, clinging to them like I felt entitled
Right.
to hold them. Because I'm like, this isn't me. I didn't do the da-da-da-da. And you said, sometimes my part is only 3%, but that is my 3%. And I was like, duh.
So true.
It gave me permission to go, okay, I have a part. Even if it's even if in the grand scheme of the situation, it's the smallest, teeniest part.
You bet.
It's still a part.
You bet.
And I can work on that and then let go of the 97 because that's not my part. Mm-hmm. But it gave me permission to be a little bit right in terms of, okay, I don't have all of it, but I also don't have none of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think if you ask me the 2 or 3 most important things in life, I would say number 1 is finding God. Mm-hmm. And not finding, I don't think finding is the word to say. Discovering that He's always been there is a way to say that. The other major thing is I have always got a part. No matter what's happened, if I can stop and look at my part, then the forgiveness is almost instantaneously. Well, this is what I did. That other person, I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know their childhood. I don't know what they've done all day. I don't know anything about them, and they're hurting me. Why? Well, I have to stop and look, well, what's my part? I was rude to them. I got this silent scorn going on. I've got unforgiveness going on. What's my part? And then you're so released into a world of freedom that it's just, that's what I say. Those freedoms, I want to pay back.
Right.
I want to be of service.
Right.
Let me get you out of that. You don't have to live that way. You just don't. You don't. My soul is at peace.
Wow.
One of the grandest things, the third thing I think I found, is I discovered, looking for my part all the time, there's pride and ego, and then there's arrogance.
Oh.
And when I look at that, the arrogance is standing between me and that person. It's standing between me and God, Sometimes my arrogance is standing between God and the person who needs healed. I'm standing in the middle with my arrogance. So finding my part makes me step back. Then I can be of service.
Okay, this is huge. So, because I've been practicing a lot about leaving space, is what I'm calling. Like
Yes.
a version of that.
Yes.
But I hadn't connected it to when I'm taking up the space or standing in the part that's not my space to stand in.
Right.
There's an element of arrogance going on. Like I know best.
Yes.
In some way.
Absolutely.
Or I think I need to prove. For me, it's always prove it energy. I need to prove to you that I'm good enough for you to not leave me.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
That's zero.
That's zero. Yeah, that's where the zero pops back up.
Yes.
Even though I'm like, okay, I'm at a 5, 6, 7 somewhere, but then the zero wants that's the pulsating wound that you would, I love that. Like when it starts to pulsate, I go to zero.
Right.
And I start acting from a place of zero, even though I live in a place of 6 or 7.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I read this not too long ago. In every man and child, a beast lies therein. My beast is alcoholism. It's what I now say, my character defects are my beast. That I have to be right. You've got to listen to me. I'm going to be not particularly stubborn, but, really forceful.
Right.
For you to understand that I know how this should go.
Right. No, really. You're going to want to listen to this.
Yeah. So those major things, it's happened to me over and over and over through the years. I'll tell you, I have been so blessed. I say it all the time. I am overpaid and overblessed. I got out of that marriage, and then my husband Jim died, and I had those years as a widow, and I'm back here now having great things. But I've never felt lonely since the day he died. I've never felt lonely. I haven't needed to go find a him, a man. God has kept me so busy being quote of service. Like I said, I do share my story a lot. Well, I've been to, let me tell, I can't even believe it when I say this. I come from a poor, dirt poor family, uneducated, full of shame. And I have been, because I came and got people being of service to me and turning around and trying to pay that back.
Yeah.
I've been in every state in the United States sharing my story. I've been into every province of Canada sharing my story. I've been to Alaska. I've been to Australia. I've been to, what's the other one down there?
Oh, New Zealand?
New Zealand. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Costa Rica. I have been to England. I have been to France multiple times.
Whoa.
I mean, just because God took me in, and people said, I understand. That's all. And then all he asks me is, go be of service for other people.
Right.
Go help them find this. And a lot of people that I have doing it now, they're out there speaking at these conventions. It's rolling downhill. They go helping other people. So it is service. But the service is the reward too.
Right. Yeah.
And the joy.
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm zero no more. I'm a 12 plus.
I love this. I'm 12 plus, y'all. I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
I love that. So I heard in there, because I mean, like you said, you've been doing this 56 years, which just blows my mind. I mean, that's amazing. And I heard in there also, as recently as 3 weeks ago, you were having some things come up
Absolutely.
that you still got to work on. So how have you, how were there points along the way in those 56 years where you had to make a decision like, yeah, because I've encountered this, like, I'm good enough, like, I'm good, I can do this now, I got this, right? Has that been a part of that? Like, has that happened? And if so, like, what was the process then to be like, well, maybe I'm just going to stick around?
I'll tell you, it's a continual process, like you say. Many times, and I've seen people, but many times I would think, just like you said, well, I'm doing okay now. I don't have to go to those meetings. It's really a struggle sometimes when you've got kids. I have kids.
Right.
I had kids. To go to a meeting at school night, get them fed, done, babysitter, and it is inconvenient.
Right.
My whole life has been inconvenienced by being given stuff.
Right. Right.
And so there are spells. Well, I'm good. I'm fine. And I'll tell you it's been about 5 years ago. After all I've done, after all the meetings, all the people I talked to, all the people I've done, like you say, I'm so tired of answering this telephone. I'm so glad these new phones show you who's calling, so if you don't want to talk to them, you don't have to answer the phone.
Right.
And, I'm kind of feeling a little rough. I don't think I'll go to the meeting tonight. No, I don't think I have to pray and meditate in the morning. I don't have to read that book. And I slowly drifted on that way. And then I started dreading getting up in the morning. I started dreading going to work. I dreaded everything. I woke up one morning and, oh my God, it just hit me in the face. Your life is full of dread. And that kind of pain I don't want anymore, because I felt the goodness.
Right.
And so, man, I called the woman that I go to that gives me counsel. And she told me some work I had to do. I had to take an inventory of myself. What am I doing? How have I been doing? Am I blaming other people? What's my part? I went do. We have 12 steps that we work in my recovery.
Right.
I went through all those 12 steps.
Right.
And in that, I saw where I had harmed a lot of people by my selfish, self-centered actions, my complacency, stop being of service, and just into me.
Right. Yeah.
And it threw me into the deepest, darkest dread. And I worked my way right back up out of it. So today, like I said, it doesn't take me months now.
Right.
I don't take breaks now.
Right. Yeah.
And when I started, I had 3 things happen that just was really yucky. And before I knew it, I was just depressed and hurting and sour. It's a good word. And I knew to jump right in the middle of that, because I can't, it hurts. I think it's magnified now that I know that this peace, what peace feels like.
Right. Like you have something to compare it to.
Yes,
yeah, because
ma'am.
I remember, like there were times where I'm like this, I remember having this thought like, well, I guess I'm just going to die like this.
Yeah.
I'm just going to settle in and make it work until I die.
Yes.
And that was, like I said, that was as recently as like 2019.
Yeah.
2018. And I was like, what is that? Yeah. And I mean, I'm really glad. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to settle.
No. And when I'm feeling that bad for days on end, people have call times. I say, can you call me on Monday at 10 o'clock? So I'll be here at Monday on 10 o'clock to answer them. And I have those call times. And as I'm telling them my experience with their problem, my problem seems to go away. I hear myself telling them my recovery, and it goes away. There again, being of service heals all that.
Yeah, there's something about when you hear your own voice. Yeah, like this whole project of recording other women's stories has required of me to be doing this, sitting across from a woman.
Right.
Which I have experience with doing that, but like but literally with headphones on, hearing her voice, but also my own voice.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm like, oh, it was very uncomfortable at first because I was like, oh, I don't know how to use my voice. I've silenced my voice for so long, even in the last 20 years, that to use it out there in the world in a whole new way was
No.
for early versions of this, I couldn't even formulate a sentence. I was like mumbled central, and it was actually kind of funny and also like disturbing. I'm like, whoa, you can't even talk, you know? It was wild. So this has been part of my healing, has been talking with women, but also and listening, and then talking. I'm like, oh, I'm getting all the things out of these conversations. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm getting a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the sweetest thing about it all, if you just get it all wrapped up in a big bow, here's the best thing of it all. It's just Sunday.
Yes.
It's just Sunday. Can't do anything about Monday or 2019.
Right.
Can't do anything about Tuesday or 2026. It's Sunday. I've got enough food in that pantry, and you bought me food in the refrigerator. Gas is in my car. I've got more clothes than I can wear. I have housing. I have friends. It's just Sunday. I cannot make it Monday. Any problem that's looking in the future is just in the future. It's not really even a problem.
Right.
It's Sunday. I don't have a problem today. I don't. And I can't let anything, the healing that I got over being a part of that murder is so enormous that sometimes I can't even go there and feel and experience it. Being forgiven by God for doing that. And I sat on one, they have those little stools, concrete stools. I sat on the stool of that man's grave and read a letter to him.
Wow.
And reading that letter and telling him where I'm at that day. This is what I'm doing this day. In fact, it might have been on a Sunday, come think of it. I've done this and that, and I'm telling your story. I'm telling our story. And it's helping a lot of people. So you need to know that. And please forgive me for being any part of that. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was Sunday because I worked. And here it is today, Sunday. I can't go back and, there's no guilt left there anymore. I was a sick human being. He was a sick human being. The shooter, my gambler, was they're just sick.
Right. Right.
It's not normal people.
Right.
I got to let that go. Let that go. I've given it to heaven, and it stays there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just read something about it. I think it was Emmett Fox. Let the dead bury the dead. Walk away.
Right. Right.
It's buried. Walk away.
Yeah.
Boy, what a relief that is. It's just Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's just Sunday.
Yeah, I'm just driving to Amarillo today. That's it.
That's it.
Tomorrow, who knows? I may not be driving to Santa Fe like I planned because it's Sunday.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, I'm sitting here with you, and then I'm going to drive to Amarillo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I got, I spread the disease.
Right.
I spread it.
Like a super spreader event. Yeah.
I have 2 alcoholics of my own and 2 stepchildren that are alcoholics. I've got grandkids that are alcoholics, nieces that are alcoholics. They're everywhere.
Right.
And if I go into all that, poof, the kids are worse.
I was going to say that's got to
the
be
worst.
hard.
That's the worst.
A different kind of hard because it's not a husband that you can theoretically leave.
Absolutely.
Or who might leave you, right? It's your child.
Yes.
Or your grandchild.
Yes. I've got one. He was sober for a long time, then went back out to drinking. He gave me a beautiful granddaughter. She was wonderful. And she went back out to drinking, and they found a homeless man stuck his head into this tent on a vacant lot, and my sweet granddaughter was laying there dead. They figured she'd been there for 2 days, and it was from fentanyl.
Wow.
And I had to do that one day at a time. It's just Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now that grandson, he's been in jail. He just got out of jail. He's been on the streets for a year, about a little over a year. She's been dead about a year now. He's been out on the streets. My grandson. They find him laying in a yard of an abandoned house. There's nothing I can do. Not a thing I can do. We've all tried everything. You just give up at some point.
Right.
And that's his life.
Mm-hmm.
That is his life.
Yeah.
It's between him and his God.
Yeah.
And I was also told that God doesn't have any grandchildren. He has no
Right.
grandchildren.
I heard that recently, actually.
Yes.
And it was interesting because I can relate, even though I don't have children, so I don't have any grandchildren by
Right.
default, and never will. But I was like, right, like I'm not the intermediary
Right.
for anyone between whoever their higher power is, God, whatever that is to them. I'm not the intermediary. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just Sunday.
And it's, I love it. Yeah.
It's just Sunday.
It's just Sunday.
That's how I can live my life. It's just Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
This has been really lovely.
It has.
Yeah. And it was really important to me to I was like, there's no reason not to visit. First of all, I'm literally going to be driving essentially past your house, more or less.
I'm so thrilled that you did.
So I'm like, you know what? I want to record with her and, just sit and visit and record. And
That's
yeah.
my honor and my pleasure.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you
Yeah.
for sharing all of that.
You bet.
I will put some reference links for people to, if you're out there
Yes.
and you feeling like a zero and you've got alcoholism in your general vicinity, I'll put some links up for you where you can find help.
Yes.
You're not alone. There is help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, thank you, Vannoy.
Thank you, sugar.
A real pleasure.
Yeah, it's been.
Okay.
Yes, I love you, honey.
Love you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Stories That Sparkle, a space I created for women to share in their own voices the intricacies of their stories. And of course, a huge, just enormous, Texas-sized thank you to Vannoy for spending the afternoon with me, for sharing with me, for, keeping it real and just being such a beacon of hope for so many. I'm just so grateful to have so much benefit from her wisdom and just her experience, strength, and hope over the years. So really, 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 really grateful. And for her example, especially of paying it back. So woohoo. And as I mentioned at the end of the conversation, if you or someone you love is struggling with alcoholism and addiction, please check out the show notes. I have links in there to places that you can find help because you are not alone. If you'd like to help me get the word out, not only about this episode, but certainly about the Stories That Sparkle podcast, please do me one small favor, pass it on to 2 friends, just 2 friends, and encourage them to download, subscribe, follow, share, all the things. And if you have a story you want to share or a topic you would like me to cover in an episode of the podcast, please drop me a line to hellarader@substack.com because together we bring light into dark places.